Hey everyone, it's Sammy from Push Square, and I wanted to put up a video today talking about Megaton Rainfall, which is a big new PlayStation VR release this week. Now, if you don't know anything about this game, it's been in development, as far as I understand, for a long time, but it's basically a Superman simulator in essence. The crux of this game is that you can fly around Earth, you can fly into space, and it includes full PlayStation VR support. Now, you don't have to play the game with PlayStation VR, but you do get a much better sense of scale when you're in virtual reality, and the gameplay is quite simple. Because you're Superman, the great challenge that game developers over the years have had is that Superman is basically invincible. So this game sort of introduces your health by means of civilian casualties. So for example, if you are blasting at enemies which are kind of invading the Earth and you miss, then there's a good chance you might bring down a skyscraper or a block of flats, or you might blow up a park or some cars or whatever, and that's gonna kill essentially a lot of civilians. And so your kind of health is determined by how many civilians you don't kill, basically. So you have to kill the enemies because they're going to kill civilians, but you also have to make sure you're very accurate with your shots, because if you miss, you might accidentally kill civilians as well, and if you kill too many, then it's game over. So that's sort of the structure of the game, that's how it works. There is a story element which I think is terrible, where it's basically like some godlike person talks to you and gives you new abilities. The cool thing about that is that you do get new abilities such as special moves and the ability to fly faster, stuff like that, but the story is really bad, the writing's terrible. I wished you could actually skip that part of the game. I dislike it that much, but it is what it is. It's there's a story. I wish there wasn't, but there is. And so the game is sort of set out as a series of missions where different enemies come and invade the Earth and you have to kill them. I don't really like the gameplay in this game at all, actually. I like the premise. I like the idea of you sort of your health being tied to civilian casualties. I think that's a cool idea, but the end result is not that much fun. The enemies are very skittish and constantly moving, and obviously that's part of the challenge, but it feels like you miss sometimes without it feels like you're really being as accurate as you can be, and you're still going to miss, and you're still going to cause loads of casualties, and that's just not fun. You're meant to be some kind of superhero with superpowers and stuff, and it just feels like you're having to be uber precise with every shot you take, otherwise you're going to cause damage and get game over, and I don't find that fun at all. I think the combat is really sluggish, really slow, and really unsatisfying, and given that's one of the core tenets of the game, it's not really all that great after all. But the traversal is good, especially in virtual reality. You do get a massive sense of scale, and the technical accomplishments are incredible as you sort of fly up from the Earth and then back down, and you can see like cars driving on roads, and you can see all the individual buildings and stuff. That's quite impressive. It's quite a technical feat, and the developers done a good job on that aspect, and you can really fly very high and sort of exit the solar system if you want to. There doesn't appear to be that much purpose to that at the moment, though. A lot of the action, certainly from what I've seen so far, seems to take place on Earth, so it's kind of like, yeah, this is cool, but what's the point in that? Maybe that will reveal itself as I get further into the game, but so far that's been my takeaway. And it does look good in virtual reality. Like, it looks good on a TV because everything's running at a silky smooth 60 frames per second, so it looks very slick and very fast, and when you're in virtual reality, like I say, the sense of scale is elevated to that absolute next level. It does use a lot of kind of comfort settings like blinkers to make the VR experience that bit more comfortable, and to prevent motion sickness. You can turn those off, and there are a lot of options for all the kind of comfort settings and stuff, so it does give you a good sense of customizability. But yeah, ultimately the problem with the game is that it's just not that much fun to play, and that's the problem I've had with it. Like, I love the premise, I love the sort of sense of scale in virtual reality. I just don't really find myself that compelled to play it because I just find it frustrating. You know, this idea of the missing a shot and basically losing health because you miss one shot, it makes sense in the context of the game, in what the game's trying to do, but it's not very fun at all. And I wished it was fun, but it's not. And also the dialogue stuff and the storytelling stuff just really leaves me cold. So they have been my impressions of Megaton Rainfall so far. I wanted to say something much more positive about this game, but I'm kind of having to force myself to play it at the moment, which is a shame because I did like the idea, and I do think that there are some amazing technical accomplishments here, but it just doesn't feel like it's quite come together as well as I certainly hoped it would. But let me know whether you're going to pick up this game in the comments section below. Let me know what you think of the gameplay. Maybe the idea really appeals to you and you're looking forward to checking it out, and that's cool. Yeah, let me know in the comment section below. Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and thank you so much for watching.